So with everyone bunkered down, what we've noticed is that there's a lot of information going out there on the internet. Fantastic, gives us plenty to look at whilst we're bunkered down in our houses, in our homes. We decided to create this little segment called Optimum versus Bad Advice, simply because we wanted to help people to make sure they don't make any mistakes during this period when it comes to people and performance. Episode 1, Strengths. So here's the prevailing advice. Focus on and develop your strengths. Now that's actually not bad advice. Of course, if you've got something that you're really, really good at, why wouldn't you continue to develop that thing? But it does come with a problem. And to explain what that problem is, I'm going to use this half full glass of water and this pendulum. This glass is both half full and half empty. You might hear people talk about from time to time, oh, you're a half glass full type of person, or you're a half glass empty full type of person. The reality is it's both half full and half empty at the same time. You can't have one without the other. With a pendulum, the pendulum swings left, it swings right. You can't have the swing left without the swing right. Both come together. So what am I actually talking about? Well, the point that I'm trying to make is that one doesn't come without the other. And the hint that we're about to get to is that strengths don't come without weaknesses. And here's an example. Say I've got this strength, which is my right bicep. Probably not, but in this diagram, absolutely. Look, here it is here. So I decide that it's a strength and I'm going to continue to develop that bicep. So I do my right arm bicep curls and I keep on going, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. The problem, of course, is that my left is going to be really, really weak in comparison. And that's either going to lead to some injuries or some other problems. And my arms, okay, so the subset of my left and right arm is arms. My left is going to be my weakness. But say I wanted to then go, right, you know what, I figured out the problem. I'm going to develop my left bicep as well. Well, my legs are going to be the problem. The weak areas are going to be the problem. And so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes our greatest strength creates the opposite, which is our greatest weakness. And if we don't choose, or if we don't bother trying to develop that, we're going to find ourselves in other hot water in other areas in some other ways. Here's another example. Say I'm a really good talker, okay? My strength is talking. And a lot of people in sales and those sorts of roles, people are really good at talking. But if I want to be a really good communicator, it doesn't help me to actually learn how to talk even more. It helps me to learn how to listen. So I might want to develop my listening skills to become a really great communicator. So the better advice is to balance your strengths. Be aware of the things that you're really strong at, and if you want to develop them, that's great. But just remember, there's a corresponding side to the thing that you want to develop, which is also means you've got to look at that from a point of view of balance. If you don't also focus on the alternative, the opposite, you're going to create an even bigger weakness, which is going to come undone at some point. So the optimum tip that we've got is define the goal. Know what you want to achieve later on. That might be a skill, it might be an area, it might be something that you wanted to achieve. And here you are now. What needs learning? In other words, what needs learning, what needs developing, and what are the things that come with it? So for example, if I want to be a better salesperson, speaking and listening, communicating and understanding, there's some other skills in there that we need to be able to develop. So define what needs to happen and figure out what needs to be learned, not just focusing on strengths. And so if you're a workplace leader or HR manager or simply someone who's looking for a role and you want to learn more about balancing your strengths, contact us. ogroup.com.au